Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
Tom, it's just a tough subject. A recent study by Brown University showed that nearly 450 children are killed each year by their parents.
My daughters were picked up on a Friday by their father to spend the weekend, and that night he pumped carbon monoxide into their bedroom and slit their throats.
Searches have begun for 2 children killed by their mother in Pickens County.
9-year-old Hayden King was laid to rest today. Hayden's 4-year-old sister Harper will have a celebration of life service tomorrow morning.
Here's a story that's breaking at 6 o'clock. It's all centered around the 3 people you see on your screen. The key pieces in a Middletown murder case.
On the left is James Hutchinson. Police say the 6-year-old was killed allegedly by his own mother.
East Los Angeles mother was charged today with killing her 3 young children. The youngest was less than 2 months old.
At 6 with breaking news.
Good evening to you, friends. Greg Merriweather along with Elizabeth Vow. Our top story today, that precious little 2-year-old right now. 2 people are facing charges accused of murdering little Nevaeh Allen. Investigators found the 2-year-old dead in Mississippi after several days of searching.
One of those blamed in her death, the girl's mother, Lanaya Cardwell.
Andrea, aka Bullhorn Betty here. Look what I found. It looks like a lot of people on YouTube. Right here. Right here. This is a real ass right here. Like many people on YouTube. All you need to do is show an asshole a little love. Right? Right? Tell him. What you need to do? What you need to do? Huh? What you need to do? Oh, too many assholes on YouTube. Say it. Say it with me, baby. Say there's just too many people. Too many people on YouTube that look like you, huh? So the next time you want to be an ass, maybe you should come out here and hang out with the ass. Just saying. You want to be a jackass? There's your brother. Peace out. Bullhorn Betty style.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
What is up, my crazy people out there on YouTube and X? I thought, I was going to be able to retire that video, but wouldn't you know, we have to walk in like... bringing some of that truth serum. Here. Good morning, Jenna. It's nice to see you. Manic Mama. T, it's up in the house. Tina. Be inspirational. Vit. Danielle, it's nice to see you. Linda, good morning. Good morning. Yes, you got to catch me live. Juanita's up in the house. Our sweet. It's me, Jen. It's nice to see you. Pete is here as always. It's nice to see you, my love. Who else do we have up in the house? We've got Wolf, FSSD. It's nice to see you. Stacy, good morning. Our beautiful Sonia is up in the house. Wes, it's nice to see you. As I promised, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we will be here live to serve up the dish. So we've got a few things going on before we get into Sebastian Rogers. There's a few things that you may or may not, maybe you forgot about. Maybe you haven't seen him in a while. I see you, Sheila. Good morning, my love. Good morning. So I'm going to try to read this here to you because it's a little dark up in the house, right? We got some light shining, but it always makes everything up here a little darker. So we're going to be going over a gal by the name of Melissa Lucio. She was actually one of the first Hispanic women to ever be sentenced to death in Texas. And this case is bizarre. This is a case of abuse. This woman was accused of hurting her child. She was pregnant with twins at the time she was convicted. Her children have been given up for adoption, and it sounds like the prosecutors may have withheld some exculpatory evidence in her case because, see, her child had a terrible fall 2 days before, and so she's been spending all this time behind bars, and then finally they did an appeal. And so I just wanted to read a little bit of background on her and just show you where we're at in this case. I won't take too long, but we are going to take a few minutes to touch her case because a lot of people want to know, what happened? What happens when you're wrongly convicted? It's not good, okay? It's not good. So that she's the first Hispanic woman to be sentenced to death in the state of Texas. She was convicted of capital murder after the death of her 2-year-old daughter, Mariah, who was found to have shattered bruises in various stages of healing, as well as injuries to her head, contusions of the kidney, liver, and spinal cord. Prosecutors said that Mariah's injuries were a result of physical abuse of her mother. Mariah was born to Melissa and Roberto Alvarez in September of 2004. This was the 12th child that they had. There was a lot of child and protective services that had previously investigated the family on child neglect charges. The younger children were often left in the care of the teenage siblings. They were addicted to substances and other, drugs and other substances. So the kids weren't living in the best life. However, the bottom line is was she responsible for her child? Was she responsible? Of course, here on the Bullhorn Betty channel, we believe that these types of behaviors do lead to injuries and deaths of children. And at the end of the day, did she physically hurt this, physically unalive this child? Or was it negligence, a horrible case of negligence? Either way, I still believe this lady is responsible, but the conviction she got was not due to her. So she was sentenced to death, obviously. She did not unalive her own child. And at the end of the day, as despicable of a parent as you are, if you're not responsible for the unaliving, you don't get sentenced to death here in this country. You get sentenced for what you did, and it's negligence. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of history on her. Again, first woman ever convicted to death or sentenced to death in the state of Tennessee, and this is where we are today. So I just wanted to read a little bit about, and we'll go ahead and get moved on. So there she is right there. That is Melissa. She's obviously changed her life with all the years behind bars. She looks happy, healthy, but at the end of the day, is she responsible? So back in April, they did an appeal, and the state district judge did overturn her death sentence. So I don't know what's going on with her death sentence, but as of right now, they are staying her execution, and they feel that this is the right call. Again, there are some issues going on here when it comes to her. And one of those issues is she didn't do it, and exculpatory evidence was withheld from her defense team, which would have given her the ability to properly represent herself. So they removed that from her, and she spent many years behind bars on death row fighting for her life for being a crap parent. Okay, crap parents are crap parents. I get it, but they're not deserving of certain sentences. Okay. So I thought it was really important to bring that around. Obviously, we've got some other things going on. Many of you guys are watching it. We did not cover it too much here on this show. But it's the Chad Daybell case. The Chad Daybell case, we didn't cover it because we had other cases that we were covering, and it was just becoming a little more difficult for me. But I wanted to give you guys some updates because we have, talked about it. It's not like we haven't discussed this case at length or in depth, either way you look at it. Let me just refresh this, and we'll watch the news piece on it. Give me just a second. It's gonna put us.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see?
It's gonna give us just a small commercial, and then we'll get on with it. But I think it's important. They've rested their case. So today marks the 30th day of trial. We're nearing the end. There were 11 witnesses called on his behalf. Let me pause this here. There were 11 witnesses called on his behalf, and his defense started on Monday. So they are now wrapped up. Chad Daybell stated he would not take take the stand in his own defense. So that's where we are right now, and then this is the update.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 4. I'm Tram Mai. The defense has rested in the triple murder trial of Chad Daybell. Daybell is accused of killing his wife, Lori Vallow's 2 kids, Ty Lee Ryan and JJ Vallow, who used to live right here in the Valley. He's also accused of killing his first wife, Tammy Daybell. 12 News journalist Erica Stapleton has been following this case from the very beginning. She joins us now with what we can expect next. Erica?
Yeah, Tram, the defense's last witness, a forensic anthropologist, finished his testimony this morning. He's one of 11 witnesses called by Chad Daybell's defense attorney, John Pryor. Pryor started presenting his case on Monday, first calling 2 of Chad Daybell's adult children who appeared to support their father. He's also called some of his own experts, including a DNA expert and a cell phone record expert who reviewed case materials. Someone we won't get to hear from is Chad Daybell himself, who confirmed he would not be taking the stand to testify in his own trial. I flagged some key moments, like Chad Daybell's son talking about the night his mom died at the family home, his daughter talking about their dad's reaction to her mother's death, despite having an affair with Lori Vallow, and testimony from that DNA expert. Take a listen.
Did you hear anything or any indication that there was any kind of sound or struggle?
I heard nothing.
I'd never seen him more upset than in that moment.
Would you be able to assess whether that was genuine grief or not?
It appeared to be genuine grief.
Is there any doubt in your mind?
No doubt at all.
Okay. You understand that at the time he was involved in an affair with another woman, correct?
Sorry.
Correct.
Did you find any evidence of anything that you provided, that were provided to you through these DNA reports, indicating that Chad Daybell's DNA was present on anything?
No.
All right, Erica, there has been so much evidence presented in this case. I mean, we're nearing the end point here. It's day 29. The defense has rested. When will this case go to the jury?
Well, not so fast. The state is now starting to call rebuttal witnesses. They called 2 today, and they're planning.
So you guys understand what rebuttal witnesses are. So how it works is because the state is bringing the case, they're required to present their case to the jury. And then once they have rested, the defense is able to now bring their defense laid out. Looks like my microphone just went out. Let me just check. I don't know what's going on with my mics. Give me just a second. Oh. Give me just a second. I don't know what happened. It sounds like my sound card just might have gone out. So give me just a second. But either way, however you look at this this particular situation, I'll just use my regular. You guys can still hear me, so I'm good. But what had happened is in this, whenever they present the defense, the state may still have some questions or may not have closed that worry box, and they're allowed the final, chance to rebut some of the forensic findings or the testimony. They're able to do that at the end. And then, of course, the defense, if there's one last thing, they can have an opportunity to address that at the court's request, or at the request, after they request it from the court. So they do have an opportunity to sit there and still argue. And it sounds like that's what they're going to do. There were probably some things, some legitimate of Chad Daybell, and therefore that's what we have. So let me just go ahead and play this while I try to fix my audio issues.
To call more next week. They're going to take a break over Memorial Day weekend, so court will resume on Tuesday morning in Idaho. So we will have to wait for that. But you're right, we are nearing the finish line here. Once those rebuttal witnesses are called, we're expecting closing arguments, and then the case will go to the jury. So we'll see what happens. But these rebuttal witnesses are interesting. The state's bringing them in essentially to kind of diffuse maybe some of what the defense presented. So once this case does go to the jury, it'll be a bit of a, who are they going to believe type of situation. So
that's kind of where we are. I think I fixed my audio issues. Only time will tell if my audio issues are fixed. Yes, Chad Daybell. It sounds, well, this is the issue. This is one of the things that I wrote down when I was discussing, and going through this case. I have been watching this, and many of you guys don't know that when I'm working behind the scenes, I watch a lot of Court TV, and a lot of you guys know that Court TV pretty much aired this trial live on their station. So I did have an opportunity to listen in on the trial, and some of the people from his church or congregation, they were cult-like. I'm sorry, there is not a question in my mind as to whether this was a religious thing or a cult-like thing. I mean, for somebody to decide whether somebody was dark or good, it was just, to me, it was bizarre. And listening to some of the people's story, and they believed it, and listening to their story just sounded honestly entirely insane to me. Just I don't understand. These people seemed like they were very smart, intelligent people, and to hear them talking like this was a little weird for me. Did anybody, how many people, by a show of ones and twos, how many people watched this trial or have a good understanding of what's going on? If you do, put a 1. If you're unfamiliar with this trial, put a 2, just so I can have a good understanding related to the Daybell case. Thank you, B. Oh, B, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, my love. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, so we have a few people that aren't familiar with Chad Daybell. So Chad Daybell, I think, wasn't he like a gravedigger at one point? Like he was a gravedigger, and then he ended up writing some books about the end, nearing the end, and he got a little bit of popularity and a little bit of a following. And he touted himself as like a prophet, that could decide who's here and who isn't, who's good and who's bad. And he deemed JJ and Tylee dark and believed that they were going to lose their, be unalived in the nearing days, that his wife was going to be unalived in the nearing days. Like, it was just really weird. And then they kept telling everybody the children were safe and everything like that. Meanwhile, after his wife dies, children. Guys, I don't know what's. I think I'm having some issues because I need an update on my computer. Let me just move these all over to my my internal for some reason. I'm gonna have to do an update on the computer. Give me just a second. Internal speakers. Internal build. Okay. I think you guys should hear me just fine now. So we'll let that adjust. Anyways, long story short, it was just, and her brother was involved too. And so they had stuff going to a storage unit. They were telling people that these kids were okay when they're not. Tammy had passed away. Lori and Chad get married really closely after Tammy passed away. And then, of course, her children disappear. Her husband also meets his demise. So there's a lot of deaths and a lot of bodies piling up around Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. And so law enforcement starts getting involved, and well, they ended up unearthing Tylee and JJ in Chad Daybell's property, basically in the garden. So that's kind of where we are. And Lori was charged first. She was deemed incompetent there for a while, but she obviously has some major problems, and so they didn't go after her for the DP. They decided to go after Chad Daybell for the DP because Chad Daybell doesn't have any problems upstairs. She does, and apparently they're pretty extensive. She looks normal, but she's crazy AF, obviously Chad is delusional, but again, it doesn't matter about them. How they were able to get people to actually believe the hocus pocus is what is so bizarre to me. Because in all fairness, these people were talking insane to me, you know, and I'm sure it wasn't insane to them, but it was still insane to me. We have a couple of other things to go over, but I'm getting short on time, and I do have my car's back, guys. The chug is gone, but honestly, I think the work, there's one little sensor in it. So the sensor needs to be replaced, and that's it. We're done. The car is functioning. There is no chug. It drove like a dream yesterday, but there is one other small little part that needs to be replaced, that I want replaced on it, and then we'll be good to go. So I'm going back over there this morning, and I'm asking, and he's going to replace this one little part. And once that's done, we'll be good to go. So that's where we are. We're at the end. I really feel like the light is at the end of the tunnel. I drove the car around. I mean, it really did drive very well. Not a chug, not a hiccup. It opened. We were able to put the pedal to the metal yesterday. So I think we're finally at the end of these repairs. It's been a long, drawn out, expensive process, but it was just, what I think it really did happen is the car's just aging. And I think and when it's aging together, it kind of, breaks down together, right? So whenever you put the new stuff on, I think the older stuff just magnifies itself, and that's kind of where I think we are. Guys, give me just a second. I gotta refresh this. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Something's going on. There we go. Hopefully this fixes all the problems, because I gotta tell you, it was freezing up on me and my lips weren't syncing right, so I couldn't understand it. I don't know if it's something in here. So if I'm having some audio, I'm just having issues this morning. I don't know. I think I had the update, for the OS update to the 13 whatever it is, and I chose not to do it because I didn't want to jam up the computer for 20 minutes. So I guess I should have went ahead and did it. But that's why we're rushing along. I've got an actual, and we're going to be doing another live later today. I'm going to get into Sebastian Rogers, Brian Kohberger, and then Sebastian Rogers, and then we're going to close for the day. I'm not going to really have a call in right now. This afternoon, around noon, we're going to open it back up. We're going to be talking more about Sebastian for the afternoon, but we're going to be touching on Gilgo Beach and all the updates on Gilgo Beach. And I don't know if you guys remember the Utah author, the Corey Richens. She lost her husband. She did these authors. They believe they arrested her for fatally poisoning her husband. We're going to be discussing that case this afternoon as well, but that's going to be when we have the call-in session, the live call-in session for people here. But we're going to work here until I get a call from the mechanic, and when I do, I've got to take the car over there, and we'll close out the live at that point. But we do have a lot of stuff that we have to go over from, something in Arizona. We've got another story of a serial killer in Indiana. It's getting a little wild out there, guys. It's getting a little wild out there. So before we get started on Sebastian Rogers, I don't know how many of you guys were here yesterday for the Brian Kohberger trial. A lot of people, hey Breeze, a lot of people were very, very, very confused. Okay, they were confused about why this hearing was going on and what was it there for to accomplish. So this is my understanding. I could be off base a little bit, but this is my understanding with what happened. So as we know, this case between Brian Kohberger and the state of Idaho has been underway since 2022, December 2022. He arrived back in Idaho on January 4th, 2023. We've been going down this thing. Brian Kohberger is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in their sleep at their off-campus house. We don't really know why to be honest with you, right now he's being accused. He has not been found guilty, but the information laid out by law enforcement and the state of Idaho is not looking good for Bryan Kohberger. Well, they're trying to defend Bryan Kohberger, and they feel the state is not giving them all of their discovery. They feel like the state is withholding information that could help him with his alibi and his defense. So they're basically saying that they're withholding exculpatory evidence. And so they have a motion to compel, fourth motion to compel, and a fifth motion to compel out there right now. And Lawrence Mowry is one of the affiants that is basically the expert, in my opinion, they're expert on the forensic, the digital forensic stuff. It doesn't appear that he could be at court on the 30th, and they needed to go ahead and get his testimony on the record. And so that's why they went ahead and only had him. A woman saying that Candace gave her summer. I'd like to, I mean, after this many years, it's kind of hard to believe that, Wolf. You know, I'd like to see proof of life. That's all I know. Hold on here, Christy's sending me something. Oh, hey Christy. No, I didn't listen to it. I don't listen to that creator. That's why I was asking you what was said. But anyways, that's my understanding of the whole thing with Bryan Kohberger. They were talking a lot about the cell phone. It seems like they're trying to use whatever information they can to help defend Bryan. They need as much information because, let's face it, what's going to be convicting Bryan is not the witness testimony, okay? It's going to be the forensic, the digital forensics, period. That is what, it's going to be the cameras, it's going to be the car information, it's going to be a cell phone information, it's going to, it's going to be tracking him digitally. There's literally one witness that did not see him commit the crime, did not, he had his face covered, so did not identify him specifically. So, this is not going to be an eyewitness case. This is going to be an everything else case. There are no real witnesses. The witnesses are the digital forensics. That is the witness. That is the key witness. That is the star witness of this show in the Bryan Kohberger saga. So Lawrence Mowry is going to be the star, the key witness, so to speak, in this case, in my opinion, among other of his colleagues. I mean, they can have people come in that saw him in Albertsons with gloves, but they didn't witness the crime. This is going to be one of those things where, that speck of DNA is going to come back and bite him. But had it not been for that speck of DNA, y'all, we would not be here. Forensics matter. That's what is ticking me off so much in the Sebastian Rogers case. No forensics. Does it sound like Sumner County really is looking at this? I mean, what if it, okay, let's strip it away. Let's say that law enforcement in the Sebastian Rogers case truly does believe that this child just walked out of his home, but what if he didn't? What are they doing in the what if he didn't? What are they doing in the what if it's the parents? What are they doing to close those worry boxes for many of the people in the community, as well as even further out here, abroad, like me from Florida that covers these true crime cases? Why do I hear something? Do you guys hear that? What in the world? There's some... Oh. Where is that music coming from?
What's going on, family? Welcome back to another episode of The Lock.
Oh, good gracious. So, even though we've changed all of this is how crazy my equipment is getting. Even though we changed everything over to my internal equipment, all of a sudden, one of the windows that I had open that I was showing you ended up starting to play music. started playing music. And I'm like, what is this? What is this sound that I'm listening to? It was like faded. And so I picked this up and stick it in my ear, and I could hear it just rocking out. I'm like, I just disconnected all this. How in the heck is it coming through the earpiece? It's crazy. But I did find it. We found the problem. We got it fixed. So getting on to Sebastian Rogers, you know, and here's another thing that I don't like about the Sebastian Rogers case. You know, I've been listening to a lot of interviews because, of course, you guys naturally know what I think happened. I'm not bashful with my position. I'm open, right? I'm open. I'm keeping my eyes and ears open, but based upon the information I got right now, does not look good. Even though the parents are trying to say, hey, we didn't do it. It's just a boring case of a kid walking away from home. No, it's not. No, it's not. And we all know that. So cut the shit. Christopher Proudfoot seems almost arrogant in his position on how luckily and wonderfully Sebastian left without a trace. It was a little appalling to me. I've also noticed that the only people that are willing to take them or their statements and their BS are cockroach channels. People that don't really care about factual information. These are channels that are regularly seen protecting criminals that do horrible things to children. And you see them on their channels, and I always say, when I start coming here and I start looking at parents, what channels are they circulating on? Because reputable channels, they will avoid like the plague. They will avoid like the plague. Why? Because we have the tough hitting questions. We don't coddle them. We don't let them spew misinformation without challenging them on the true facts. For example, here's a prime example of what I'm talking about. So Christopher Proudfoot was on a channel, I don't know whose channel, nor do I really give a you know what, basically saying this is what he was wearing when he left the house. He was wearing his pants with the stripes down it. He was wearing a long sleeve shirt, not a hoodie. And we are speculating that he walked out the door because we don't know how he left. Well, was he wearing a jacket, Mr. Proudfoot? Oh, well, we don't know. We don't want to speculate about that. Oh, but you can speculate about him walking out the door. Okay. Well, here's the reason why Chris Proudfoot doesn't come on channels like mine and chooses to take every single low blow crap channel out there to try to make his statements known. Because for me, I would be, so you can speculate that he walked out the door without seeing it. Will you be willing to speculate he didn't walk out the door? What do you think happened now? You can speculate he walked out the door. Well, let's look at the other side of that. What do you think happened if he didn't? Chris? Katie? You don't mind speculating he walked out the door, so let's speculate the other way. What do you think happened if he didn't walk out the door, Mr. Proudfoot? Right? What happened then? You say your wife didn't see him walk out the door, so how do you know he walked out the door? And if you can speculate he walked out the door, speculate he didn't. What happened now? Nobody's asked him. All these channels. All these channels. So we see where they're going. We see who they're talking to. Do these sound like, I mean, just based on the channels that they decide that they were going to, I don't think so. Don't you ever use that name in my chat ever again. I don't think she did a great job at all. Because why are these questions not answered? Why are the simplest factual informations? It's still coddling. It's a feel-good interview. Got nothing. Got nothing. So there was a camera that he saw on this, and now it's mysteriously gone. Good morning, Pebbles. Sorry I didn't have my glasses on.
Everybody in the glasses, right? Did you guys see that? I have 40 pairs of glasses because I can't read anymore. I can't read. So everywhere literally, these things are littered all over my house now because I get frustrated. If I need to read something and I can't find a pair of glasses, I get frustrated. So I literally have them on my dining table, have them on my end tables. I got 5 pairs here. I got 5 pairs on the bed, in and around the bed. When you need to read, you need to read. You know? She didn't ask any important questions. It was a shit show, as always. So, no, it was absolutely BS. Yeah, and that's exactly why they don't come to reputable channels. They don't want to have to answer the real questions. They go to crap channels that protect criminals. These are channels that are known to protect criminals, that do terrible things to children. So why are they going to those channels when their reputation, these channels' reputation is protecting criminals? And now we're seeing the Proudfoots littered all over these channels. In addition to their poor behavior, in addition to the fact they wouldn't help, in addition to his bizarre statements, in addition to him being happy that Sebastian left without a trace, in addition to them shopping for motorcycles in that symbolize freedom. And then now, on top of that, they're on channels that protect criminals. Okay, we believe ya. Sure do. Sure do.
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
That's what you said.
What? What? No tears, no breakdown. Just, hey, he's gone. He's out of here. Right? Let's make it crystal clear. Fun fact, when he's gone, when he's out of here, right, Katie? Fun fact? Fun fact? Let me guess. He stopped breathing? Did you put your hands around his neck? I'm asking for a few thousand people over here. Because, you know, we're just trying to figure out what you mean, you know. We're trying to figure out your sign language and stuff, Katie. You know, we're just over here just trying to figure out. I mean, was it like this or was it like this? Oh, it was like this. Gotcha, babe. Gotcha, babe. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So let's listen. Let's listen. Where is it? Right here. Here it is. Let's see what she's got to say, shall we? Let's see what she got to say. Let's see what she's got to say. Okay.
This. What do you see?
I jumped in the car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he's already He's already. You guys get it? He's already. I drove around, but he's already. Listen to that. At this point, I was hysterical and I was crying. And I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he's already. At this point, I was hysterical and I was crying.
He's already. So now let's look at Chris. Let's look at Chris and his cough.
Coughs, like a warning to get her story straight.
And
watch her freeze up.
Three-wayed. He three-wayed law enforcement.
Now I'm going to say this is very interesting. Is Katie actually telling us what went on that morning through these tiny slip-ups? Many are suggesting that this is the reason Katie is not going on panels like Chris, because he feels like she will slip up. We heard from Katie about...
I just want you guys to see the matter of fact and expression on her face.
the matter-of-fact expression on her face. Not concern, not worry, not, oh my God, I haven't seen my child in 3 weeks. Just nothing. Look at her. Just matter of fact. Just matter of fact. Not a care in the world. If you looked at them both right now, just in this clip, would you ever imagine that that boy behind them is missing? I certainly would not. Well, missing, but them being their parents. The child missing's parents. This does not look like grieving parents whatsoever. Not whatsoever.
He's already, like, at this point, I was, like, hysterical, and I was crying. I jumped in my car, and I drove around the neighborhood.
This is a mom of a child that's been missing for 3 weeks by this interview. This was one with Chronicles of Olivia. Here's her, right here. Chronicles of Olivia. There's this stuff. And so here is the beginning of Chronicles of Olivia. I want you to watch this, as a matter of fact. The first 5 minutes of this frickin' video is a hot mess express.
Before he vanished and hasn't been seen since.
Although he doesn't like to be dirty, it's kind of funny because he also doesn't have awareness, because if you look, he's got...
But look at this. Like there, I don't know if that's a bruise right there. Can you guys see that up there by his hands, right above his eyes, or if that's hair? I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me blow that up. Maybe you guys can see my right there. You guys see that? And I can't tell if that's hair or a bruise. From it looks like a bruise right here on his head. That doesn't look like hair, but it might be. It might just be the way the hair sets. I can't tell. But let's keep watching.
Got chocolate milk on his face because he didn't wipe it off at breakfast.
Nope. She's looking at him, looking down at him, not breaking down, not shedding a tear. There's not one drop of tear on this video frame sitting under her eyes. 3 weeks after her precious son disappeared, and you can't even get one teardrop to stream down her face to drip on that picture frame. I want to put that in perspective for everyone.
Something like that.
Can you recap the overall story of Sebastian's disappearance? Kind of walk through that day.
Sunday, the day before he went missing. We got a...
One thing I noticed is Chris is very nervous. Very nervous. Watch how he moves. He's just not comfortable in his seat. He's moving his hands. He's kind of looking at his wife in the peripheral while he's staring off into the abyss.
And fun fact, I made breakfast that morning.
I made breakfast that morning. This is the mother of a missing child. Fun fact. Ha ha. Fun fact. Ha ha. You know? So there is that. Did y'all see? Don't bring that in my chat. Everybody that's bringing that person's name, I'm in a lawsuit. Do not bring her in my chat. I don't really give a rat's ass. Sorry, Gigi. You know, I actually unban whoever I just blocked for saying that lady's name. Let me just give a warning. I'm in a lawsuit with a lady. I do not want her name brought up in my chat whatsoever. I think she's a wholly garbage person. So it's somebody that has stalked me and turned my life upside down. I could give a rat's ass what criminal she has on her criminal channel. Okay? So don't bring her name in here. If you guys bring her name in my chat, I've got her literally blocked on literally every possibility of you guys being able to say her name. And somehow you guys still are able to manage to work it out to say her name. Do not bring her name in my chat. Okay? That is a good way for you to be blocked and banned off my channel and never come back. Ever. That is like absolutely no. So let's keep it clean
But don't ever bring that lady's name here in my chat. I don't give a rat's ass who she has. I could care less if she sucks a toe and chokes on it. So, you know, that's how I feel. So I appreciate all you guys respecting my position on that, but do not bring that lady's name in my chat. I absolutely despise that woman, and she can rot in hell as far as I'm concerned. For the record.
We had a good time. We were laughing and joking. He talked to family on the phone during breakfast to brag.
So he was talking to family to brag. Brag about what?
We went and picked up our niece.
So she oh, you guys didn't see that. Let me put that back up here. I want you guys to look over here. Now, Chris, again, not supposed to be home. But here we go.
We went and picked up our niece. I got a call, and
he kind of bites his cheek after he says that. So I'm so mixed because we keep hearing he wasn't there, but he keeps trying to put himself as if he was there. So I really don't know. I really don't know. You know? All right, guys. I wish I had more time to spend with you guys, but I really don't. So what we will do is I'm going to be back here later this afternoon to discuss this case just a little bit more. I did want to bring up just a couple things before I... Where is it? Before I... actually, we can bring that up later. So what evidence they have, I'm unsure what evidence they actually truly have in their possession, custody, and control. Do they have his PlayStation 4? I've never heard them say he has a PlayStation 4. I heard Seth said that he has a PlayStation at his house that he plays on with his son under certain circumstances. But from my understanding, Sebastian had a Switch. And the Switch was... The Switch was, I don't think was on the internet. I could be wrong, but I don't think the Switch was on the internet. But he did leave it behind. So I don't know what this Lexi was asking about the PlayStation 4 and whether that has been taken. I know a lot of people have some major questions about Katie and her body language and her swiping at the neck in some of these things, saying, you know, he was already, you know, and doing this number and making Chris. This is what I'm talking about. We need to be going back to these interviews and tearing them apart and analyzing the crap out of them, because there is telltale signs in here. We know criminals make mistakes. We know that they're not keeping their story in order. We've watched their story get all messed up. You know, they have Swiss cheese for a statement. My biggest problem with law enforcement right now is this is where we're at, and we still have no forensics. Did he mention? Yeah, I'm sure he did mention me a few times. There are people mention me. Why would he mention me when he's never even spoken to me? Because I bring a powerful voice. I bring a powerful message. And when I come here and I start going to the people fear the work that I do, especially when they're criminals. And so they have to go to people that protect criminals to protect them from me. Right? And I haven't even stepped foot out there. That's real talk right there. I haven't even stepped foot out there, and this man has my name all up in his mouth. Don't tell me that the Bullhorn Betty does not bring some weight. So there is that. Because I don't hear anybody else's name in his mouth, right? Just a few people. Just a few people. And those few people are pretty hard hitters. Just saying. You're not going to be protected by a channel with only 15,000 people, dude. You ain't got it like that. We're 180,000 and growing. 180,000 and growing. That's power. So we're going to continue to fight the good fight. We're going to continue to expose the bad guys. And I'm not sitting here, I never have sat here and fell in line with everybody else. Never have and never will. And so we are still on the beat to expose Katie and Chris for what they've done to Sebastian, and I don't care whether law enforcement agrees. I don't care whether Nick Barris agrees. I don't care whether the people here on YouTube agree. I don't ask people for permission. The bottom line is these parents were the last one to see this boy. They can't tell me that this child walked out of the house and this child is missing. And they're happy. And they're delighted that he left without a trace. I got a problem with that. Knock, knock. I got a problem with that. So, all right, guys, I got to go take care of the car. We'll see you soon. I'll be back this afternoon. We're going to be diving into Sebastian Rogers deeper. We're going to open up the phone lines, and we're going to be talking about the other two cases. The other two cases that we will be talking about this afternoon are Corey Richens, as well as the Gilgo Beach updates. The Gilgo Beach updates. Corey Richens and the Gilgo Beach, along with Sebastian Rogers. That's going to be up for topic this afternoon. All right, guys, God bless you. We will see you soon. Until then, don't be sleazy. All right? Be easy, don't be sleazy. There you go. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, be kind to one another. Be a Betty. God bless. Now, if I can just find my exit. Here we go. You guys have a great day. God bless.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.